I get a lot of offers to promote or test stuff within my YouTube films, and I've always said no thanks, until today. This mob Dynasty's reached out. They make the world's first knee exoskeleton. I don't know much about these things, but I thought, you know what? That fascinates the hell out of me. All right, let's see how you work, baby. Now this does fascinate me, I'm not making this up. I mean, I write about this stuff in my PhD, about how humans interpret the world through stuff, through clothing, through tools, through technology. In fact, my commute series was based on this whole premise. When I walked and paddled to work, I took very little with me because gear, or the lack of it in that case, completely shaped the experience. The website says that this gives my legs 50% more power. It's kind of like a gentle hand putting weight into your knees, into your thighs, your hammies and your calves, pushing you up a hill and then giving you resistance when you're coming down. I feel like a dance move, right? Now, the other half of this tale is that these things are based on this dystopian video game called Death Stranding. Now, I've never played the game. I'm like the opposite of a gamer. And it's this dude called Sam, and he's a porter. He basically carts stuff from one outcrop of humans to the next. They said, Beau, you kind of remind us of this dude. And I said, oh, well, righto. Yeah, I can do that. So I better look like Sam. I figure, you know, this is all pretty futuristic. Why don't I get a futuristic mission and a futuristic get-up and go do something. All right, I'm on a mission. I've always considered beans to be a bit of a superfood. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave here from Mount Buller with an exoskeleton strapped to me. I'm going to take a whole bunch of beans, I don't know, 30 or 40 cans of beans, and I'm going to go and supply a hut at the very bottom of the hill down what is considered the steepest descent in the state. Then I'm going to hike back here. Comprende? Comprende. And yeah, if it looks heavy, it is. Not bad. I've had worse. Don't know when, but I've had worse. Apparently the battery's charged going downhill. Fair enough. Sounds good to me. The website says that by wearing this thing, because my body's kind of taken care of, I've got more attention to give to nature and the experience itself. And that kind of sounds a bit hokey to me because I do this kind of stuff to feel my body. But I suppose what they're saying is that you can now go twice as far and still feel those things. So that's got merit. I'm open-minded, I'll have a crack. Yeah, you're probably thinking, hey, can you feel those 30 tins of beans on your back? Yeah, I can feel them. You bet your ass I can feel them. It's going to be a real grind to get down the river with 35 tins of beans. It's going to be a grind, but I know the two that... Ah, shut up, mate. Shut up. Just look at the trees. I will never in my life get sick of that as a path. These are such special bloody mountains. I haven't always thought that these are the best mountains in the world. I always thought that the rest of the world had better, more exotic mountains. Bigger, with different kinds of trees, higher, with exotic beer in the cafe when you get to the bottom. These days, man, I just want to be in my home mountains. And these are, yeah, just amazing. Oh shit, that's heavy. Ugh, come on, Beau, you just got to get it up, mate. All right, let's do this. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Slippery ass rocks, man. Can feel the exo, can feel the knee one working well when it's really under pressure. Quite good for the big step downs. Well, these are going to be a challenge. Bloody logs over my head. Whoop. Oh shit. Great ideas are great ideas until you do them, and then they sometimes aren't great ideas anymore. They're just you might so the old 1970s backpack so that I could wear these dystopian boxes full of beans is super flawed. It is a flawed process. I mean, that's why I don't see much of it. Can hear the little motors of the Z1 on my legs. Can definitely feel it helping on the way down, for sure. We really are living in a technologically radical era. And so I'm fascinated by these sorts of things, strapping things to your knees to make you feel a particular way or give you more power. And my old man, he can't walk, and he'll probably never walk again for the rest of his life. And so, you know, wearing these kinds of things does make me think about lots of things. Now, some of you might be thinking, gee, Beau, isn't it time for some beans? But I'm going to hold out. I'm going to hold out until I get to the river, until I find... I've never actually been to Gardener's Hut. Some people call it 4 Mile Hut. High country huts have been a place to take refuge for 100 years or more. Put in by cattlemen when they were grazing up through here in the summers. Beautiful buildings made with whatever they could find, or was spare, or was local, and kept alive by, you know, the families of those high country cattle people for a long time. Anyway, I've been in strife over the years where I've run low on water or food, out for an extra day or two, hungry, and you know, there's a tin of beans or a packet of dried potato. They're such brilliant buildings, and they're dotted all throughout the high country in Australia, and I freaking love them. She's getting steep, friends, and I can hear the river for the first time. The Aqua. Oh, down there rumbling away. You bloody beauty. Whoa, forget how steep this is. All right, there's the Aqua. You beauty. Oh. Yeah, I think I've got to take them off. They're getting wet. She's running pretty high. Okay, that's the Aqua River. Beautiful, my legs are refreshed. Now the hut, it's private, so I don't think I have full access to it. It's somewhere in here. Let's have a tin of beans, eh? You might know that I love beans. I think they're the ideal emergency food, right? And I've been meaning for years to put beans in high country huts here in Victoria, where I live. Super steep, straight out of the river. Find your lungs again. Heart rate at 112. Good on you, matey. And you may have noticed I don't have the knees on. I can't really use them. I didn't know this. I can't use them with poles because when I'm poling up, it goes really close to my kneecap where all the mechanism is. All right, let's be graceful. Feels good. The rule is never look a good log in the mouth. You know the old saying?
Now, at this point in the hike, I was beginning to get an idea of the Exo's pros and cons. Now, the cons are practical and perhaps a little existential. On technical terrain, they catch on trees and rocks.
I've lost the plate, so I can see all of the brain of the exoskeleton. Pretty rough track, giving it a fair bloody hiding.
The cogs and motors turning are loud enough to soundtrack your day. And while they're light, there's still extra weight, especially the batteries. But mainly, on a long day in the hills, on technical terrain, they rub, mostly under the knees. And there's nothing like rubbing on your skin to distract you from what you're doing.
Yeah. So these are still prototype, these things. So they'll figure it out. But they're worth their weight in gold when I come up to this really steep technical stuff. It's 10 past 4. I've been on the go now since just after 9. 9 hours on feet so far. It's a real rock scramble up through here. The amount of technology I have on me is quite remarkable compared to when I started hiking almost 30 years ago. I have an exoskeleton strapped to my knees. Oh, I can feel these guys pushing me up the hill. I'll take that. I have a drone behind me, a mini helicopter that films me as I go. I'm holding a GoPro, which has got as much technology as the giant camera I took around Africa in 2007. I'm not overly enamored by a lot of technology. I just want to blast out there in the bush and eat a banana and sweat my ass off and feel things and challenge myself. I don't mind hardship. Life of the solo filmmaker. Out and back. Out and back. And a lot of technology in the world is made so that humans don't have to endure hardship. In many respects, I'm not the ideal candidate to be wearing these things on my knees because I'm able to do this without them. I think we've got about 400 metres of vert and probably 2.5k. Looks tantalisingly close, but it bloody ain't. Okay, friends, just counting down the minutes till our first sighting of snow as we're coming through the woolly butts. Named because they're this lovely fibrous bark. Aren't they beautiful? Hello, fella.
I set off today driven by two key themes.
Hallelujah. First sight of snow.
One was to deliver beans to a hut, and two, to wear a set of devices that give my legs more power. The first one speaks for itself. The second, I think, is far more complex.
Here's one of the great pleasures of life. Look at this. Yes. I think that's my wife. Hello. Wow, what a surprise. Oh yeah, go park, don't come back. We'll have a date. That's my wife. What a bonus. I get to go to the summit with old wifey. That's the best bloody thing since I got married.
For a long time, humans have experienced the world through layers and interventions. Because we're no longer wild. It's our tools and devices that serve our needs and wants. They make us human. But we often forget that we're a product of technology, and everything's technology. This was cool. This was an experiment. But today was a great reminder that I love using my body.
There it is. 1,805 metres. Ding, 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 ding. From way down there. There's the spur. That was hard. Today was hard. It was genuinely hard. I don't really need these things strapped to my knees, but I can see their benefit to people. I think they're going to be like batteries for bikes. You know, this sort of stuff is coming and it's going to enable folks. I wouldn't buy them, not at this phase of my life, but I'd buy them for someone that is going to do some walks around the fells, or, I mean, my mum, for example, would be a perfect candidate for these knees. Helen's just left and I said, oh, I needed one more sign off for the film. I mean, there's lots of reasons to life, right? I posed that question earlier today. But by surprise, my wife came and joined me at the car park on the way to the summit. And that's the best thing that could have ended this whole day. So all the other crap that I would have said up here and waxed on about the power of nature and me loving life outdoors, and I do love all those things, but I like coming home to her more, you know. Bloody good day.